I made it, went and checked in. It's delivery day. Not too bad. 9:4. They switched my appointment to 9:30 in the morning, so I didn't have to wake up as early as I thought I would have. It was a 6 o'clock appointment. I get here 9:30. 9:30 appointment. Awesome. I got something to tell you about some truck drivers over here, though, that I find a little amusing. I find it amusing. People's thoughts, especially here in the state of Texas. In the state of Texas, what people believe. Sometimes it's just not reality. Not reality. Okay. In, get my coffee. Let me tell you what happened. Some of you will get a kick out of it. If you're from Texas, you're probably going to agree with these guys. But, okay, so I was checking in, turned my paperwork in. Hold on. It's a vlog. Welcome, everybody. I forgot to tell you. It's a daily vlog. A vlog that happens daily. Today, I'm going to tell you a story about some Texans. I like Texas. Texas isn't a bad state. Some of the beliefs are a little bit different. So, you see stuff like this on the news. What people believe, especially now, I don't want to talk politics, but you see a lot of this, especially with the introduction of Donald Trump, running for president. Anyway, so I was over there turning my paperwork in, and I wish I could have just held my phone out, but I needed my phone for this conversation. Standing at the window, a driver started talking to me while we were doing our paperwork and said, can you believe or I can't do the Texas. I apologize. I can't do a Texas accent, but I can't even do a John Wayne accent. But can you believe our country has gone that Obama did, he was talking crap, which is fine, everybody's, different. He shouldn't even be president. He wasn't even born in America. And I said, his mom was from Kansas, right? And he was born in Hawaii. But Hawaii wasn't even a state when he was born, so he shouldn't even be president. And I said, Hawaii was a state. You better look that up, because I'm telling you right now, Hawaii wasn't a state. And so I said, well, I got a pocket computer right here. So this is what I did. Hold on, let me turn this off. Turn my Jaybirds off. Power down. Power off. Good. So I had my pocket computer right here. And I did this. I said, what year did Hawaii become a state?
Hawaii was granted statehood on August 21st, 1959.
Hawaii became a state in 1959. Go figure. What year was President Obama born?
Barack Obama was born on August 4th, 1961.
Wow, can you believe that? Can you believe that? That you can get information right at the palm of your hand. I don't carry one of them fancy phones. I don't carry none. I don't need none of this. Well, before you start spewing off things that you think you know, do a little bit of research. Not just if you're from Texas, but from anywhere. We got the information right here. We have all the information we need. You don't even need to go to university anymore, because all your answers are right here. Enough politics. It was just amusing. I don't know. People, they just talk. Though I just talk a lot too. But it's amazing. It's amazing what people will believe. Whatever the news on the media, the corporate media that's on television, they get focused on their one news station, whether it's Fox or CNN, and they just watch that channel constantly and believe everything that's on there. It's insane. Wait a second. I didn't want to talk politics anymore. Is that actually politics? I don't know. Anyway, so I'm down here in Texas, obviously, in Conroe, Texas. And I need to do a little bit of research here about Conroe, because I believe, before I spew something off I don't know, what city does President Bush live in?
According to Wikipedia, Prairie Chapel Ranch. Prairie Chapel Ranch is a 1,583-acre ranch in unincorporated McLennan County, Texas, located 7 miles northwest of Crawford. The property was acquired
Crawford.
by
For some reason I was thinking Conyer, because that's where I am right now. Conyer, Texas. For some reason I thought he had a big ranch around here, but it's not. See, I can find information out that I didn't know right there too, because for some reason I thought President Bush lived right here in this town. But he doesn't. Right? All right, everybody. I'm going to do my paperwork. Actually, today is going to be the first time I used this service called TransFlow, where I do my paperwork, and it's kind of like a fax machine. We've never used this before, or I've never used this, but because my company was purchased by another company, they send in their bills and everything else in another way. So I guess at all the truck stops they have like a fax machine, and then you put all your bills on top of each other, all your paperwork, all your receipts, and then you put them in a machine and it sucks them in all high-tech like, and my company should receive all my paperwork from this trip immediately, which makes it easier for a weekly paycheck, which I now get. No more bi-weekly stuff. It is weekly, so I'm kind of excited about that. But if I had to mail this in and it took 2 days to get there, it kind of delays my pay period, and I won't get paid. So I kind of like this. No one taught me how to do it yet. When I did go home to Florida, I was expecting to be pulled into the office and walked through some sort of class on how to do some of this stuff and how the new company is going to operate, but that did not happen. I went home for my days off, went to Universal Studios, came back to work, nobody there, hopped in my truck and left. So it's learn as you go, which is fine. That's the best way to learn, right? Just to do it. Camera up, tilt down. That hides my belly. Backed into a door, was going through some of my YouTube stuff, and I've been receiving quite a few comments, especially on the Florida zombie apocalypse. Some of the comments are pretty awesome. I kind of wanted to go through some of them. Thank you everybody for commenting on the videos. It's the first time in at least a year. You know, it's weird when you first start YouTube stuff. You hear people talk about, don't expect the viewers to just, be there. It takes a long time to develop and a long time to grow. First you have to come up with some sort of content. Don't always worry about audio or video quality. Worry more about the content. I'm terrible at content. I have some decent cameras. I don't use them all the time, especially for the daily vlog. Sometimes it's just easier to use the mobile devices for a daily thing, but if I'm out doing something special, I'll break out the higher quality cameras. But still, the content isn't there. It's not what I envision in my head, what I want to do. It's just right now, my life is kind of dull because I just sit here most of the time. And if I see a roadside attraction or something I really want to document, it's hard to get a vehicle this size into certain areas. I pass by tons of stuff I want to pull over and capture on video, and so I could become more comfortable in front of the camera, but it's hard. And so it may take someone like me a little bit longer to get those views, to get the subscribers, to do whatever. And it's taken about a year now. And finally, comments are kind of starting to pop into the feeds, which is awesome. That's I see it as things are advancing, and some of the comments are pretty good. I kind of want. I don't know if you guys want to be read in the comics or comments. Maybe I need to sip a cold coffee. Sometimes you get the larger cups and they get cold before you get to the bottom. Comment number 1. I don't know if you want your name out there. I'll just say Jonathan. I won't say last names just because. Your comment's pretty awesome. Oh my days, I thought to begin with you were cool. Oh my days, I thought to begin with you were cool. I don't get that. I'm not cool. I'd never claimed to be cool. But now I see you've got Google Eyewear on, and then you were playing Pokemon Go, which is pure Illuminati. It might be. I tried Pokemon Go. I don't play Pokemon Go all the time. And my other family members do. And a lot of people do. At Universal Studios the other day, in the queue line for King Kong, once we got into the queue, where there were a lot of people gathered, I did notice I would say 1 out of every 3 people in that 90-minute wait were playing Pokemon Go. I was trying my best to enjoy the queue line and all the stuff that was around that Universal built for the King Kong attraction, where I noticed everybody around me wasn't enjoying that. They were just focusing on that game. So no, I tried it again yesterday for a little bit. Found one of these tall tower things that you're supposed to take over and do battles. So I hit the battle button, and I don't know if you're supposed to swipe or touch or you know, kind of like you do in Final Fantasy or something, where you touch the other character and it's turn-based. I thought it might be something like that. There was no explanation, and I kept getting beat by a very low-powered monster. Are they monsters on Pokemon? I don't know anything about Pokemon, but I lost a bunch of battles, and I said, you know what? I give up on this game. Uninstalled it. So no, if I was part of the Illuminati, I'm not anymore. I am. You're plugged into the Matrix. It's unreal. Oh, I bet you think the globe is. I think that the. Hold on a second. Oh, I bet you think the Earth is a globe. Wrong. It's flat. I hope you wake up soon. I like that comment. I don't know. I just think it's funny. You're awesome. Thanks for leaving an awesome comment like that. You have the trucks. Let's see. Hopefully they're for a film and not a Zika virus flag. Yeah, I found out what those trucks were, Jonathan. There was about 7 or 8 of them total. There was more than those 2 crew carrier type vehicles that I put in the video. There were more on the side of the freeway parked, and some other vehicles, military style vehicles, all with the same paint scheme and stuff. Someone else sent me a hangout message that they're probably for a TV show or a movie. So finally somebody did walk up, and I talked to them, and what it was is they were all heading out to Burning Man. So all those zombie apocalypse vehicles were heading out west to go to the Burning Man. Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird too. It's weird and awesome. Somebody wrote those vehicles were, Jeremy wrote, probably scooping mosquitoes. Burning Man. But mosquitoes is a good call. I never thought of that, because it did say mutation something response team on the side, and there was news reports the other day that the government is thinking about genetically altering some mosquitoes to kill off the Zika virus mosquitoes and testing it out down in the Keys. They're gonna mutate mosquitoes, so that's what it could have been. Kathy, I'm just using people's first names, which is good because I would mispronounce a lot of people's last names. Kathy writes, hello, enjoyed the sights on the shore. Did you see the news of the man who was biting the man's face off after shooting them in Florida? Yeah, she goes, the zombie apocalypse is coming. You do know the Bible is playing out right now. The end of the age is by September. September's coming. You do know this means, don't you? No. September. So this September is the end of the world again? I don't know. I want to live through the zombie apocalypse. I want to live like Rick and those guys. I don't want to meet my demise by Lucille, though. Yeah, the Florida thing, that was like 2 years ago, the bath salts, where somebody was eating somebody's face and the cops shot them. I just think it's awesome that people are actually writing. They're writing. I find it amazing, man. Thank you guys so much for comments. Good, bad, calling me stupid names. I love it. I love it all. I love it. Getting comments on YouTube. My life is complete. Tools are ready. I'm going to go inside here, grab my paperwork. Let me remove this chalk, this wheel chalk right here. I don't like shoving them way under my wheels just because they're harder to kick out in flip-flops. And before I go in, I might as well reconnect my airlines. I'm curious where they're going to send me next. I'm kind of happy that I'm pretty happy that a lot of the accounts that we used to have when we were a different company, and those accounts that we lost and we stopped doing, that we are getting those back as a new company. So, because I like coming here. I'm used over the last so many years coming to certain places, and then when we stopped coming, I got kind of depressed and lost. The more you go to places, the less chances you are to be lost. Anyway, I gotta go get my paperwork. Be right back. Back out. Paperwork in hand. Now I get to try something new. I get to use a system called TransFlow. So I gotta find a truck stop, scan all these paperworks in, so I could get paid this Friday. Now it's time to wait to find out what's next. I am kind of curious, as I was going through the YouTube contents, and especially the one that was talking about glass and the Illuminati and Pokemon, I was thinking to myself, I sat here, sent in my empty message, Googled Illuminati. Does it really exist, do you think? Does anybody out there really think the Illuminati exists? Is it real? Is it imaginary? Is it a conspiracy theory? I don't know. Not enough research on this end. But, like I said at the beginning of the morning, I have the answers all right here. Don't know if they're the right answers, but at least I could get some information. I'm going to give it a shot and drop off, try and fax these papers, all these papers right here. Normally what I would do is I just drop them in there, but they got new ways of doing stuff. Always have to learn. So I'm going to go inside. Hopefully the cash register guy up here will help me do what I need to do. So you just drop them all in?
Yeah, we're going to add more pages.
And I recommend our soft spikes. They're very good.
4 pages total.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah,
So
what I did is I just added that last one in there.
So you don't tape that to another piece of paper or nothing. You just
Nah, we made a copy.
awesome.
What is the trip number?
Trip number is 200.
Okay. Want me to take it for you?
It's going in here, I think.
Okay, here you go.
Thanks, dude.
No problem.
I think we got it. Trying to record the videos showing how to do this, and I had the camera turn the other way. That way for documentation, so I know what to do next time, because the guy behind the register did it. Come to find out I had it on front-facing camera, so maybe the next trip I won't be so nervous and I'll be able to record the process. But I'm done. Did it. Now to put this in the mail. I don't know why I have to put it in the mail if it was just scanned. I figured I'd keep these for my records, but not only do they want them back, they also want them mailed. Check out some of the electronics. Not too bad. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be to figure out how to do all the papers, put them all in a bundle, put them in a machine, type into the computer. I mean, I didn't do it. I had them do it, but I'm going to have to start doing it eventually. A lot of people, I've talked to a lot of drivers, they complain about classes or having to go through a class to learn how to do the stuff as the company changes over. Not me. I want a class. I don't mind learning the right way to do things. There is something a little bit crazy with this company that I don't understand. Not that, I mean, I could figure this stuff out, but on the paperwork, let me see if I can show you guys. So this is the normal paperwork here, which is pretty standard. When you pick up the load, you put the date. When you end the load, you put the date. Pretty much all standard stuff. You put your fuel, how many gallons. But when you get to the bottom, you're supposed to put the mileage for each state that you drove through. So if I hit 5 different states in one day, as I hit the state line, I'm supposed to pull over, add up the mileage I did for that particular state and put it in the state column it goes in. So I may be Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana all in one day. Every time I hit a state line, I have to stop, calculate how many miles I drove in that state and put it there. Instead of just a beginning trip and end trip mileage, and then you could tally up the totals of that trip, of the entire trip. So it's kind of, you have to do, it doesn't make any sense. Why do I have to do each individual state? I mean, if I was up in the Northeast and hitting Rhode Island and Connecticut and all these little baby states where I could go through 10 states in just a few hours, I have to mark that. It's crazy. I don't understand. Another thing I didn't understand, I'm scanning those papers so they get to the company right away. Right away. Why am I also mailing them? Why not just do the normal thing we used to do? You just do your paperwork when you're done with the trip and you put it in the mailbox. It goes right to them. They get everything at once. Why is everything duplicated? Dude, it's like double. Everything's, yeah, that's duplicated, right? Everything is doubled. Why not just make it single? It's like when you're driving down the road, it's against the law to talk on the phone or do anything that takes more than one action because it's unsafe, right? It's not going to be unsafe to fax something and mail something. My life won't be in danger. But every time you add steps or add more to the process, things get confusing, things can get messed up. Whereas if you just do one single easy process, things don't get messed up, things don't get confusing. Not only for me, but for payroll and for everything. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. But that's the way they do it. That's the way I'm gonna do it. But in the meantime, it's lunch. It's lunchtime before I go pick up my load, which that's another thing. They don't give you much time here. This is pretty much my second normal trip with this new company. I have to go pick up a load in Houston by 3 p.m. and be up by Chicago tomorrow morning. It's almost 800 miles and it delivers at 8:30 a.m. there's no time. They don't give you time. So if there's any weather events or anything, I don't know. Am I just complaining? Maybe I need some meatloaf. I need to eat this meatloaf and head down the road. Meatloaf, gas station goodness. If anybody has never been to Texas before, just a little warning as I'm watching these cars go by so I can make my turn.
Head southeast. Then, slight right.
You're supposed to drive friendly. The Texas way is
Then use the left
one
lane
thing.
to take the I-45 South ramp.
Waiting for this cop to let me over because I got to get on the freeway. Thank you, police officer, for not letting me over.
Use the left lane.
If you notice,
the I-45 South
these are
ramp.
frontage roads, long frontage roads that follow the freeway. I'm getting on the freeway right now, but they have these long frontage roads that'll go for miles and miles and miles without an exit. So if there's a business you want to get to, let me get up here. I'll show you what I mean. I'm trying to pay attention to this Houston traffic.
Continue on I-45 South for 13 miles.
Okay, let's say I want to go to this restaurant right here. This restaurant. I have to take this exit, go down a turn, go underneath the freeway overpass that I'll be crossing over, come back the opposite way for about 2 miles, turn around underneath another overpass and come down another frontage road just to get to that one business. They got these long, they just don't have regular freeway exits. They have long one-way frontage roads. It's not good for business because I was actually going to stop at a restaurant that I seen, but I didn't see it until after I passed the exit, and it was like a mile down the freeway, and I go, well, how do I get to that? How do I get to that restaurant? Well, the exit was a mile back. And then, so to get to that restaurant, I would have to exit another mile ahead, find a way to get across the freeway, go back a mile, and then go back to the other road, and then come back to that frontage road for another mile just to get to that road. It's a pain. It's a pain. If you don't live in Texas or in the cities in Texas and don't know where your local businesses are, and you're a traveler and you want to stop, they don't make it easy. And the entire state is like this. Every major freeway has a frontage road that follows the freeway. I have to pay attention to what I'm doing. I'll talk to you guys when we get to Orange. If you ever have stage fright, go into the restrooms. Always look for these at the rest area. But it will be flipped around so you can actually read it. Because you get these awesome private bathrooms. That's what I found anyway. I prefer the family restrooms. There, that's the correct way. This rest area is kind of like a nature trail, like a nature preserve. It's not like the swamp walk of the other rest area as you first come into Texas, but it's still a really nice rest area. I do seem to have something in here also. Don't know what it is. This is actually my first time in here. I just stopped to go to the restroom and get me a soft drink. Look at this. The San Joaquin Monument. It's 500 and 70 feet tall. That's it right there. Is it lunchtime? I know it's soda time. But what to get? Sprite. Sometimes it's just good to get out, explore, even in the rain. That's why I figure it. Get out, check out your location, where you're at. There's always something to see. Always something to see.